Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. Let's spend some more time on this ATC200M. One of the things I'm dying for is a foot peg, so let's go to Harvey's Junk Yard and find one. So these are the all-terrain vehicles that are kind of my parts donors if I need to cut up a piece of metal or whatever. And I recently dropped this here. And I remember it had pegs on it. Hopefully they're the right kind. I believe that this is a 200M frame. Well, that's not going to work. These bolt through and those bolt in from the bottom. Well, let's see what this is with catching poison ivy or something. Yeah, that looks like it'll work. Well, I got a back axle here. Yep, perfect. Which side do I need? Yeah, perfect. Actually, this frame doesn't even look half bad. The rear end's been butchered pretty good. So hit it with the PB blaster, 12mm. Let's see. See if they're gonna come out. And the answer is, I got one. That's a good thing. I'm up to one. The inside ones probably are coming loose because they had oil drip on them. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad. By the way, the mosquitoes are having me for lunch. I'd really rather not snap these off, so let's go spring wrench. Oh, good. Got a couple of... Yeah, good there. So that's one. Yeah, I'm set up there. Come on. Sometimes you could kind of feel in the wrench if they're going to snap or not. You could kind of back off and then go forward again. Yeah, good. I'll be able to impact them out. So the foot peg is on, nothing stripped out, all good news. The shifter has a problem. It hits the peg and so forth. That's kind of why I didn't put it on for the ride. I don't think I have any shifters floating around that would easily adapt to this, so I think I might actually have to order one. So working our way up, next kind of comes the carburetor. This is one of those $10 flea market carburetors. It was out of the box. I mean, it looked fine. Everything seemed to check out, but it was out of the box. So somebody might have messed with this, you know, turned knobs and so forth. Anyway, let me get this off and we'll take a look at it, see what's wrong. Okay, it is time to build a custom exhaust for this thing. Anyway, you can see the header, you can see my lamp pipe, and then if we put the flex tubing, goes right into that, then we could put it up where we want it. By the way, this flex tubing is 1 inch inside diameter, and I believe that's how you measure for it. When I was a kid, it seemed that every car that somebody less than 25 owned had at least 3 foot of this underneath it somewhere as part of the exhaust system. The muffler did thread in pretty well. It seemed pretty tight, but I'd like this to stay together for years and not months. So I'm going to follow up and put a cell. Well, if this metal wasn't so thick and tough, it would be a self-tapper, so I'm going to drill it. There we go. Sometimes with the smaller bits, it's better to spin them faster. It kills them faster, but they drill a lot better. This carburetor runs like Dookie. I went through it. The only thing that was strange is the idle mixture jet was turned way out, and that's after I turned it part way in while trying to tune it yesterday. So runs like Dookie, a big steaming pile. I think we're going to pull this one off and put another one on. So here is another one of those $10 carburetors. I'm going to open the bowl up and take a quick look. This is a Honda, and it's, you know, designed in. It's so defective they didn't even write Japan underneath. So I swapped out the carburetor and it's running exactly the same. And if you spend just a moment looking here, you could see the wires are kind of chewed up. So let's do a quick check to see what value we get here. Typically you expect somewhere around 35 ohms. This is a coil, right? And because it's a coil, doesn't matter which direction you go in. $33 ohms, close enough. So the ignition coil is good. Let's see what's going on inside. So popping this cover off. Now the gap between the magnet and the pulsar there should be 0.3 millimeters, and this card is exactly 0.3 millimeters. I checked it and it's loose. I thought I gapped this thing once already. I must have been out to lunch. I don't know how well you're able to see that, but this says 0.6. And I mean, there's a little bit of drag, but I'm able to get that in there. I must have been out to lunch. I thought I re-gapped this. Let me fix it. So I gapped it to 0.3. I like to use cardboard because the magnet pulls up against it. Then I turned it around so the non-magnetic side was there, and I'm just checking that too. You want to do that, otherwise as that rotor goes around, if the other side is too tight, it'll just beat the heck out of your pulse generator, kill it, break things loose, make a mess. So you really want to make sure you have spacing on both sides. If you don't have spacing on both sides, you might want to think about, are your cam okay? Is your advancer okay? Right? You got to start thinking about what else is going on up on top here. So got a new carb, didn't run any better. Re-gapped the pulse generator, didn't run any better. Pulled the spark plug out. I thought I worked on this engine before. I must have not been at my best, or I must have put a new plug in it, then borrowed it to put it somewhere else, and put this piece of junk in there. I'm not even sure who made this. Anyway, let's change the plug. Alright, she has a new plug. Let's see if I made the rookiest of rookie mistakes. Choke on, ignition on, gas. Well, I'd say that's a little embarrassing. You guys can see the redneck exhaust is on. Yes, it does smoke a little bit. Hopefully the rings will seal. This is the one I worked on, right? Melted piston, on and on. Boy, I'm beginning to wonder if my belt slips. Yeah, it's going to run itself out of gas eventually, but so I'm going to dig up an air cleaner for this. You guys can see I found a shifter for it, which is good. We'll adjust the clutch. A little more to do on it. I'm happy. I'm happy that it's running better. I'm like, yo, what the heck was wrong with me? I had labeled this bad idle on the inside. What I'm going to do is write OK on the outside with a question mark. Maybe this engine is just fine, or this carburetor is just fine. So I'm going to put it back with the horde of carburetors. So maybe it wanted a Honda carburetor. It wanted to be closer to Honda. Alright, I'm going to wrap this up for today. We're going to keep chipping at this a little bit at a time until we get it to be a somewhat of a daily rider. Ugly, but daily. Folks, I need y'all to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and get out there and enjoy each and every day. Sometimes when things don't go quite perfectly, it kind of runs you through a bunch of troubleshooting, like, you know, gapping the pulse generator and changing the carburetor twice and a few other things. So, and figuring out it was only the spark plug. Anyhow, I'm happy it's running better. The trick is to stick with them and not lose your temper and go crazy with a hammer. Anyway, feet down, heads up, get out and enjoy each and every day. We never know how many we're going to get, so get out and have some fun. Bye now.